Greetings and thank you for dropping by for the latest edition of Mentor Mike's Market Movie. Today is Saturday, October 20th, 2012. We're going to do a little replay from one of the days last week, but first we're going to start off by reviewing each of the days that we had. So let's switch over to some visual aids. Now, here is the weekly chart showing the delta turning points, but I did it a little differently this time. Instead of having a day session only chart, we have the full session array, but what you've got here are the day sessions marked off. Now, the red line, which hopefully you can see, is the end of the day session, and then I've drawn a gold line, which is my 4 a.m. Pacific time. Then we have the 6:30 line. So basically from the green to the red is the day session, and then from the red to the next red is the full 24-hour day. So you can see we had low, high, low, and so forth. And this, I think, gives you a bigger picture here. You can see we had a low. This is a 13-minute chart, by the way. Why 13? Because I feel pretty comfortable with the 3-minute chart when I'm day trading, and so the 13-minute chart makes a good higher time frame. It's in a monthly to weekly type of ratio, 4.33 to 1, so it works well for that purpose. But as you can see, we started out with a low, the move went up, we had a high on Thursday, and then the market started moving lower. So you can see that a lot of the days were fairly typical in that we had kind of a flat consolidation during the aftermarket / pre-market, and then during the day there was the bulk of the move. And notice that at the flat point right after the low, as the market is changing direction, we had some a series of transition moves around that trend-defining moving average. And we had the same thing again up here at the top when the market was changing direction again. As the price activity crossed the trend-defining moving average and the trend definer flattened out, we had a series of back and forth transitional moves. So for the bulk of the week, both before and after Thursday here, we were able to trade in a inside-out directional type of fashion. But on this particular day, it was more of an outside-in because the trend-defining moving average was so flat. So this is the day that we're going to replay today, but we'll take a closer look at all of the individual days. Here's Monday, and here's our trend-defining moving average, kind of flat once again. This is where we're breaking above the trend definer to start the beginning of the up move. And notice that all of our directional trades here were basically defined by the momentum modules created by our parabolic, our faster parabolic. So we have a down, up, skip the pullback, and another up. So 3 trades, all successful. Here's Tuesday. This one was even more unidirectional. This one, I took the counter trend trade here as well. We had some divergence on the stochastic. Here's Wednesday. It was also basically moving up. I took the counter trends here, though, also because of divergence, which I marked on this occasion. And then here is Thursday. You can see how much flatter this day was. We come in above the trend definer, drop below it, back above it, drop below it, and then this is what cemented the downward move when we came up here and hit resistance on the red moving average, which was now solidly below the trend definer. But again, and virtually all week long, we had good trades that were essentially defined by the faster parabolic, and pretty much all you had to do to be successful this past week was just change directions every time there was a parabolic change. Now, I don't recommend doing that as a definite maneuver without further analysis, but that's how it kind of played out this particular week. Now, here was our Friday, very unidirectional. We were already below the trend definer at this point. And this will take us back to where we began. And again, you can see we had, here was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday over here. So we ended on a low, so we should be expecting a high to be the first turning point on Monday when we get to the next day session. But for now, let's go ahead and play out Thursday in the replay and see how things go. Nothing really raring to go right now. We're coming down towards the trend definer. Let's just start up the data and see where it takes us. Okay, we flipped the longer term parabolic here. Now the stochastic is already fairly oversold, so going further down would be a little risky perhaps, although there is room before it's going to hit support. But I think we can get a fresher trade if we just wait. Notice our white is now under the red. So our three strategizing MAs are in a bearish alignment right now, but we're still sitting on top of the trend definer, which still has a slight upward bias. I think I'm going to speed it up a little bit. I think I can probably get away with that. Okay, we flip the parabolic now. We want to be looking for an opportunity to get short. Notice how we're staying pretty much under the red moving average. Alright, major drop there, all in one fell swoop. That's the danger of goosing up the speed on the data feed, I'm afraid. But let's just take a shot at it anyway, see if there's enough movement left to at least hit the first target. I got in much faster when I was trading in real time, but 100 times normal speed will do that to you. Okay. We did hit the first target. I moved the stop manually. I don't know if we're going to make it to that second target. I did in the real trade because I got an earlier start, but I don't know if we're going to make it here. Our parabolic has just about caught up to our automated stop. And we're just crossing the line now into the actual day session. And we're stopped out. And it's always a little iffy to trade right at the open, because that's when the market can get pretty squirrely. And right now we're moving up, but we're still looking very bearish. We're actually, the price activity is under the trend definer right now, and we do have a red, white, and blue bearish alignment. At the same time, our stochastic is coming up from below. So let's see what we can do here. I think we want to wait for another short trade. Ooh. I think there was a report that came out at 7 that day, because notice it was a big spike up, but it didn't stay there. Okay, I'm going to slow this down here now. Notice we're getting ready to flip the stochastic. Got some mixed signals between our MACD and our stoch. When you've got that going on, remember that the stochastic is the more sensitive and reactive. The MACD is a little slower. So looks like we might be able to get something on the short side here. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, now we've got a cross on the MACD, a little bit of a droop on the stochastic. So I'm going to slow it down and wait till we get a turnaround. But notice the divergence. Lower low on price, higher low on both MACD and stochastic. Price is starting to rise. Stochastic is still kind of down there, but I think it's safe to do this. Notice how the price stalls out where we've got the two moving averages kind of on top of one another. Now we're starting to move up some more. And I think we can goose it up just a tad. Okay, all three targets hit this time. That's what we like to see. And goose it up another notch here. And that's what happens when you hit 100 times normal speed. I got in way up here in real life, but I think we have enough to go for it nonetheless. We have flipped the parabolic, and as I said earlier, that's pretty much all we had to look for all week long. Okay, going short. Notice the parabolic flipped as the stochastic was crossing the similarly colored gold dotted overbought zone. Everything's color coded on these charts, folks, and the same colored lines in each panel represent the same sort of things. I've got some students, though, that just can't see the correlation. It's like they just don't get it. I don't know what to do about that. It's like the optical illusion with the picture hidden within the picture. Sometimes even when you point out where the hidden picture is, there's some folks that still can't see it. I've got a couple of students like that. It's very frustrating for both of us. Okay, now notice how the price has come up and is coming back down. I can't really switch to a higher time frame because when I've got a combo chart like this, it doesn't work well. When I change the time frames, it flattens out the upper panel unless I take the drawing items off, which I don't want to do. But I can tell you that when the price breaks above the 5 bar and then comes back down below it, as it has, it's a pretty good indication that this thing wants to go lower. Actually, we are already short, but I'd like to add to this position. Yeah, let's go ahead. What the heck? Something we haven't done recently. That's what we like to see. Now, this is how we're going to do that. We'll draw this as the original trade, and then I'll draw the secondary trade like so. And I'm going to slow it down a tad because we might get another opportunity, but we'll miss it if it drops too quickly. Notice how the white moving average is acting as resistance. That's what we want to see. Notice the hook on the blue here, and the price is dropping. MACD is still nice and wide apart. I think we can take another short one here. And we're starting to climb back up here. Okay, stopped out. But we still got one more shot here. Once we flip this parabolic, that's going to happen at about the same point where our MACD is going to cross the 50% line, I'll bet. So we'll just keep moving here, but we'll go a little slower so we don't rocket out of here too fast. There we go. Flip that parabolic. We're just about ready to cross out of here. Let's go ahead and get long. Okay, and that was the last trade of the day. And now we can see that we've broken below the trend-defining moving average, and now the price has basically hit it as resistance and wants to come lower. So we have definitely transitioned, and there's an excellent chance that this is the high, and of course that's what our chart showed us. So as far as the way I would line up the turning points, probably something like this, as I recall. This looks very much like our first one. And this one's pretty close to being on the money for the middle one, obviously. And here's low. And there you have it, folks. I drew these lines before the day began. And guess what? There's your low, high, low, and all three of them are pretty close to the window of opportunity in our little prediction here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I got greedy over here, which is probably more than I would do in real life, but at least 2, 4, probably 5 good trades. And what do we end up with? 37, 87, 50. You do that every day and you're looking pretty good. So thank you very much for dropping by. And when you want to get serious about investing in yourself, call Pacific Trading Academy and tell them you want to work with Mike Bridges. Thank you very much.